Hallo zusammen, ich zeige euch jetzt das Video von Linda Tellington Jones. Den Namen Linda Tellington Jones hat wohl jeder Reiter schon einmal gehört. Sie hat die Reiterwelt mit ihren Methoden einschneidend verändert und den Pferden und Reitern weltweit durch ihr Training und ihre neuen Ansätze viel Gutes getan. Im Interview mit David erzählt sie von ihrem Werdegang, der Entwicklung ihres Tellington Trainings und den T-Charges. Viel Spaß!
And thanks a lot, Linda, to join us at the Calm Horse Summit. And just introduce yourself. How did you, I think many people know you, but how did you get to this technique? So how did you find it and when was it?
Well, and you know, a lot of people who know, I've been working in Europe, in Germany, Italy, Switzerland, since 1975. I first came to Equitana. And people got to know me because I gave the first presentation, believe it or not, of ride. We had, I trained 4 horses and we did a little quadrille jumping with no bridle, nothing on the horse's head, just the ring. And now, you know, it's everywhere. It's fantastic. I am so happy because what it does, it creates a calm horse and it creates trust with your horse. And that's what I'm interested. But since I've come to Germany, I was for most of the years, I was known for working with pleasure horses, thanks to Ursula Bruns and her Freizeit im Saddle.
What did you mean with pleasure horses?
Freizeitpferde.
Freizeitpferde. Okay, it's like for fun sports, like
exactly.
Freizeitpferde,
Yeah, but I've also had the great pleasure of working with Dr. Klimke and Ingrid Klimke and Klaus Balkenhol and many of the dressage riders, because I made a video first with Klaus Balkenhol, but 25 years ago. It's been amazing. And so, but my background with horses, I grew up time I was 9 until I was married, and did a lot of showing and jumping and eventing, and that's what I did. And then I had a riding school for riding instructors. It was a 9-month school. You came and spent it was a residential school, and we had students from 9 countries and 36 states all over the United States over those years that we had the school. And then I started coming to Germany thanks to an invitation from Ursula Bruns, and started showing what I did with horses. And it was a different way of being with horses, just developing a relationship with them. And then it took over the years. I did the Feldenkrais training in 1975 to 1978, and I brought that into the work that we've been doing with sport horses. Then I brought it into the field of Freizeitpferde.
Okay,
so
it's pretty long ago.
Yeah, it started then. It's a long ago. I mean, I've been at Equitana since 1975, and I'll be there the next time.
How was the time there? Like right now, I see a lot of change. Like more and more people quit sports and do more. You said pleasure horses, and they just are more connected to the horses and look for different ways to work with the horses and everything. But what was it back then? Like, did you have to defend yourself, what you're doing there? Or was it just immediately recognized and everybody said like, wow, that's new, that's cool?
Well, no, I've never had to defend myself because I was fortunate to have a lifelong experience with horses. And Ursula Bruns took me under her wing, and also Wolf Kober, who is the founder of Equitana, took me under his wing. And so I was presented at Equitana. I was a feature presentation. And the second year, so the first year I gave a presentation with riding with just the rings, no bridles. The second Equitana in 1977 that I was at, I brought a trail horse, and I showed the first trail horse classes in Germany. And Jean-Claude Diesley and I did a presentation in the big ring, he with his Western and I with the Western trail horses. And then I did the same thing in 79. And so I was always like bringing new ideas in. And then Ursula Bruns in I think it was 77, 78, we did a study at the Reken Test Center in Reken, and with 20 horses over 5 weeks, horses that the trainers or the owners or the veterinarians had just given up on, and made this huge difference. And I have a wonderful book called Die neue Weg in Umgang mit Pferde, and it's still in print.
Say that again. What is it called?
It's how do you say it? Die neue Weg im Umgang mit Pferde.
Der neue Weg im Umgang mit Pferden.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with Linda Tellington Jones and Ursula Bruns.
Okay,
Yeah,
and that's where you did the study with the 20 horses.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And how went it? How was it?
Well, that's what we did. We took these horses and I just did the body work on them and the exercises on the ground. And that's when I developed the labyrinth work and all the stuff that we do now, going under plastic, over plastic, between. That's where it all started. And this, now it's everywhere. It's fantastic. Yeah. Everybody does it.
Yeah. But like back then, there were a few people like doing it, right? Like looking for alternative stuff.
There weren't many, and there were no alternatives in those days. I mean, it's interesting. Now it's, thank heaven, it's everywhere. Sorry, I just have to. Oops. Yeah, it's a little early here. We're in Hawaii. We're 12 hours earlier than you.
Yeah. Like me, it's 8 p.m. and you are 8 a.m., right?
A.m., right.
So how did you come to this technique? Like you just worked with horses and you felt that it's working for you, and then you did your more testing and everything, and then you published it? Or?
Well, no, you see, I had, because I'd had the school and in the United States for years, my first husband and I went with Tellington. We had a monthly column in horse magazines, in Equus magazine and Western Horseman and many Practical Horseman, many magazines. And then Freizeit im Sattel in Germany picked it up. And also Reiter Review wrote a lot about my work over the years. And so I was looking for a way in that 5-week test in Germany. I was looking for a way that the average person could change their horse's behavior without force, without trauma, without running them around and making them tired. Because everyone thought, well, if a horse doesn't behave, you just lunge them until they listen, right?
Yeah.
Or you run them in Western America, you ran them around the wrong pen until they listened.
Yeah.
But I was very fortunate. I mean, after years of competing and showing, and by the way, I set an endurance record for 100-mile and 1-day endurance riding in 1961. I set a record that stood for 7 years. With my mare. Yeah, with my mare Bint Galita, the Jim Shoulders 100-mile ride. So anyway, I was looking for something that anybody could safely do to change your horses. And so I started, I started doing courses in Germany. And in order to come, like people had come to me for 9 months. I was totally spoiled as a riding teacher. They came and we had the same students over 9 months rather. But then when I came to Germany, I wanted something new. I was looking for a change in my life where I had to learn because I'd always been the teacher. And so the first thing in my first weekend clinic, David, I was told I didn't need a dolmetscher because every German speaks English is what they told me. So I get there and nobody was willing to speak one word. So I wrote down 10 German words and I just started speaking German. And yet I only teach in German, but my German isn't good enough for this. If you don't know me, this is nicht so ideal.